What's up, everyone, and welcome. It seems 99.999% of all cybersecurity news stories is about this hack or this poor sucker of a company that fell victim to ransomware. Well, in this episode, we're going to discuss the success the companies are having blocking attacks, specifically blocking phishing and brute force attacks, and we'll see how Microsoft, yes, Microsoft of all companies, has blocked billions, tens of billions of these types of attacks. Now, honestly, most of you know all this information already and most likely have read this article, but sometimes hearing it from someone else can trigger new ideas for a way for you to improve. So let's see what else we can learn to protect ourselves and others from this story.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
Microsoft revealed that Office 365 and Azure, their Active Directory customers, were the targets of billions of phishing emails and brute force attacks last year. The IT giant added it has blocked more than 25.6 billion Azure Active Directory brute force authentication attacks, and they detected 35.7 billion phishing emails with Microsoft Defender for Office 365, and that's all in 2021. Phishing, in case you don't know, is where attackers send malicious emails designed to trick people into falling for a scam. The intent is often to get the users to reveal financial information, system credentials, or other sensitive data. Enabling multi-factor authentication and passwordless authentication would help customers to protect their accounts from brute force attacks. However, only 22% of customers using Microsoft Azure Active Directory, Microsoft's cloud identity solution, have implemented a strong identity authentication protection as of December 2021. Now, that statement is not 100% true, but we'll learn about that later. Congratulations, you're doing a great job by wanting to learn how Microsoft has achieved blocking billions of attacks on their customers, and by watching my episode about it. I appreciate your support. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and smash the bell to be notified when I upload new episodes where I give you insights into the newest important cybersecurity news stories like this one. With my insights, you can be better prepared to protect your company, your family, and yourself against these and other cyber attacks. So hit the subscribe button now and let's continue to learn about this story together. Now, according to Microsoft, multi-factor authentication and passwordless solutions can go a long way in preventing a variety of threats, and Microsoft is committed to educating customers on solutions such as these to better protect themselves. From January 2021 through December 2021, Microsoft blocked more than 25 billion Azure AD brute forces and 35 billion phishing emails and blah, 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 blah. So, multi-factor authentication and passwordless solutions can help, but it's not an end-all be-all. It's not the golden key solution to mitigate all attacks. And anybody who's seen any of my previous episodes in the past couple of days might know or might get an inkling of where I'm going with this, or at the end with my what can we learn, what we will be discussing. Cybercriminals use phishing emails because it's easy, it's cheap, and effective. Email addresses are easy to obtain, and emails are virtually free to send with little effort and little cost. Attackers can quickly gain access to valuable data. Those who fall for phishing scams may end up with more infections, including ransomware, identity theft, and data loss. I think we all know by now that the data that cybercriminals are after includes personally identifiable information like financial account data, credit card numbers, and tax and medical records, as well as sensitive business data such as customer names and contact information, proprietary product secrets, and confidential communications. Cybercriminals also use phishing attacks to gain direct access to email, social media, and other accounts, or to obtain permissions to modify and compromise connected systems, like point-of-sale terminals and ordering processing systems, etc. Many of the biggest data breaches, like the headline-grabbing 2013 Target breach, start with a phishing email. Microsoft pointed out that online threats are increasing in volume, velocity, and level of sophistication. The company introduced Cyber Signals, a cyber threat intelligence brief informed by the latest Microsoft threat data and research. So in this article, Microsoft did their usual thing, pounding their chest, saying how great they are. They blocked billions of this and billions of that, and they're the greatest. But what can we really learn? Well, it does seem that Microsoft is giving a big push lately into cybersecurity. In reality, they've probably been doing it for years, but I honestly never really took them that seriously until recently, I'll say. Their implementation for distributed denial of service mitigation tactics at Azure, which successfully blocked the largest DDoS attacks on record, according to them. Their improvements to their Office 365 product security have been pretty impressive, and their cybersecurity unit has been in the news recently, increasingly having success working in tandem with other companies to take down some pretty big names in ransomware and botnet circles. But I'm not tooting their horn, and they're definitely not paying me, otherwise I wouldn't say that they're still not the greatest. There's tons to be done. In the report, for example, they claim passwordless and MFA, or multi-factor authentication, are one of the keys to mitigating malicious brute force and other attacks. But that's just wishful thinking. I just did an episode the other day, and most of you will probably have it still fresh in your mind, where we saw hackers using reverse proxies injected into the browser to steal credentials, thereby making multi-factor authentication useless. So passwordless, MFA, give me a break. If you don't think more attackers are going to start using these phishing kits that inject a proxy, reverse proxy into your browser, you are crazy. So back to learning. We can see from these numbers of tens of billions of brute force attacks and tens of billions of phishing attacks thwarted by the mighty pen of Microsoft, well, we see that server providers are, in fact, protecting us from phishing hacks and brute force attacks and the like. But then, why is it getting worse? Why is Microsoft in their own article saying that the volume, the sheer mass amount of attacks is continuing to increase? Well, it's getting worse because these hackers are evolving and getting much more sophisticated. For example, how about implementing a reverse proxy in your browser to act as a middleman and steal your credentials, thereby making MFA useless? So, these guys have access to the same tools the most sophisticated cybersecurity companies and even governments have. They're not all some pimply 16-year-old kid living in his mom's basement anymore. Far too often, they are large, organized groups, sometimes backed even by governments, that want to steal your crypto, hold your company ransom, steal your secrets, blah, blah, blah. So, make sure that you and your company are treating these risks with the appropriate responses, and maybe, just maybe, don't show up to your next cyber battle with a typewriter. With that, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.